Christie sides needs to go. If the Fever are going to make any type of moves this break, the number one priority needs to be firing Christie sides. Because, yet again, she just doesn't know what she's doing out there. Her X and O's are terrible. Her rotations at certain times of the game where she's subbing out players is highly questionable and it doesn't make sense. She's always throwing her players under the bus after games. She takes no accountability for her actions. And it's the same story over and over again. The first thing I want to talk about was this random timeout. The time of it did not make sense. So what happened was the Wings just scored. They were getting back on defense. They inbound the ball to Caitlin Clark, and she just throws it up the court to Katie Lou Samuelson. And the Wings were caught off guard. They had no idea what was going on. They didn't get back on defense. Or guess who had an open layup? Katie Lou Samuelson. Guess who caught a timeout while Caitlin Clark was making the pass? Chrissy Sides. The timeout made no sense, and the time of it was terrible. And then let's go to the fourth quarter, because at this point, the Fever came back in the game. They were down 15, and they were playing with this up-tempo pace. They were pushing the ball, they were getting quality looks, and that's what got them back into the game. So what do you do at this point? Do you keep playing this style of basketball? Probably. But what does Chrissy Sides do? So she had Dantas in the game, and Leah Boston was on the bench. So she decides to play them both together. They have never played a minute at power forward this season. And the problem with this is Dantas can't move. She doesn't play defense. She doesn't set good screens. So the only thing she really does well is hitting shots. And now you have her out there with Leah Boston. So on misses for the Fever, the Wings are just going to push the ball up the court and get quality looks. And what happens? While the Fever were up 6, when they brought in Leah Boston to pair up with Dantas, they go on a quick 6-0 run. And now the game is tied. And all that momentum they built is now gone. Because Christie Sides, again, makes a terrible substitution. We saw this in a game with the Mercury, where she kept Erica Wheeler out there for too long. The Mercury made that huge run and almost won the game because of Christie Sides' poor coaching. My thing is this: why are you experimenting with your rotations when the game is close? When your team just went on a run and showed you how to win the game. They gave you the blueprint, yet you want to change up your strategy while you're up 6 points in the fourth quarter. You want to make a decision where neither player, Boston or Dantas, has played any minutes at the power forward position. That doesn't make any sense to me. She's known as a bench player. Leah Boston is your starter. She was cooking. She was getting layup after layup. But all of a sudden, you want to mess with stuff, and not only that, you ruin the flow of your team. They had a rhythm going on. And every miss that the Fever had, all the Wings got to do is just push the ball down the court because Dantas is going to keep up. She doesn't move fast enough. It was just a disaster. Any GM or owner out there that's watching this play out is firing Christie Sides right now today. If I'm the Fever, I'm letting her go and not wasting any more time, because we've seen it time and time again where she doesn't make the right decisions when it comes to rotations. She throws her players under the bus. And again, these substitutions make no sense to me. If you want to keep Clark happy, you need to make sure you have a coach who knows what they're doing. They had a situation at the end of the game where Caitlin Clark was saying, "Why are we calling a timeout? We're down 1-1-93." She said it on live TV. It just didn't make any sense to her. Christie Sides doesn't know what she's doing. She looks lost out there. I don't think her game plans are terrible, but I think the X and O's and making adjustments in game is not good. And her decision making is highly questionable. She looks lost out there. And you need a coach who knows how to make proper substitutions, make better decisions down the stretch. I mean, come on. We had a situation where Caitlin Clark got the ball. They're down 97-93. She's pushing down the court. The only player down there is Lexi Hall in the corner, but the other players aren't running down with Caitlin Clark. That's a coaching problem, because if the players are confused or they're not getting enough effort, that's a reflection on the coach. Whatever she's telling them in the huddle is not working. Why is Caitlin Clark the only person down the court with Lexi Hall? She's pushing, trying to get a quick bucket, but her players aren't there to catch the pass. She ends up turning the ball over. It's just a reflection of the late game execution from Christie Sides. She doesn't know what she's doing at this point. She looks confused, and it's the same narrative again. I think if you're the GM of the Fever, you go ahead and fire her. Move on. Get somebody in there so they can have some time to look at this team. Heck, you have a whole month to put a game plan together. So why not do it now? Why not get somebody in there to plan for the second half of the season? You get 14 games left. You have an opportunity to make the playoffs. Just pull the trigger because size is lost. She doesn't know what she's doing. And it's just annoying to watch because you have Aaliyah Boss and Caitlin Clark, a fantastic duo. They're building chemistry, getting better and better. And you've got this coach who doesn't know how to make proper adjustments, and these substitutions are atrocious. I don't understand why you're experimenting with a new rotation when you know neither player has played the power forward position this season. Doesn't make any sense. Don't do that because what happens is you're losing your locker room. Players probably don't trust you. And when I see 3 of their players not running up the court with Caitlin Clark, that's not only on the players, but it's on the coach because you don't have them prepared. And I wouldn't be surprised if they're just sick of Christie sides. They don't want to deal with her anymore. So please, Indiana, get rid of her, move on, and start fresh. Because again, if you want to build a championship level team eventually, you need to make sure Caitlin Clark and Aaliyah Boston are happy with their coach because that's your cornerstone pieces that you need to build around. So stop wasting Caitlin's potential and her career, and let's just get this over with. We don't got time to be wasting with a coach who wants to experiment with centers, knowing that they don't play power forward. That's just crazy to me. When I saw that, I'm like, what is she doing? Didn't make any sense. I don't know if Christie Size is trying to sabotage Caitlin Clark's career or she's just trying something new, but it just doesn't make any sense. Do what's working for you. Don't change up a rotation that throws everybody off, especially when you got back in the game, you were down 15, and you know in a game where you get back in it and you have a lead, you got to maintain it because there's a lot of energy that you give out. When you try something new, it ruins the flow and the momentum that the players built at that point. And all you're doing is just breaking their trust. So Christie Size just got to go. Hope you guys enjoyed this video today. Love to hear your thoughts on the coaching of Christie Size. Should she go? Should she get fired today? Don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel. And I'll see you in the next one.